Hello, this is Ed from Pinball Mayhem. As promised, here's a update video on my Ghost in Shell homebrew pin project. I have printed off some artwork on just normal paper and cut it and taped it to the side. I really like the style. I'm hoping to go with something similar for the side of the cabinet, but I want to make sure I get all the main characters from the show on the side here. A lot of progress has been made since our last video. I took a few in-progress short videos I'll throw in here, and also, as promised in my last one, I'm going to go through a detail of what my full plan for the playfield. We'll be able to see a lot of it. There's still some work that needs to be done, and it's still in the prototype stage. Last time you saw the first flip, the slingshots were there but not powered. I ended up having to go with a smaller diameter post because my original layout, the ball was getting stuck here. So this was designed for a smaller diameter post, which also gives me some better access to these side shots. My layout, still the standard bottom, and I have two stand-ups and a scoop. Scoop will deliver down to the right flipper real well, and something in here is going to be my skill shot. It's pretty hard to get into the scoop. The stand-ups you can kind of grace. I'm thinking kind of like top skill shot and maybe like a consolation prize skill shot. Going over to the right, this is a more difficult shot to make. I'm adjusting this post a little bit, and that is going to a vertical up kicker, which will kick it up over here. And I'm going to put at least 2 inline drops, maybe a third, but I don't think there's going to be enough room for the mechanism. So I'm thinking there's going to be 1 here and then 1 blocking the gate. There will also be a gate that's going to drop down to allow the ball to not go down to the shooter lane. On the upper half of the playfield, I have my ramp. This is really the part I designed the upper playfield around, and the ball comes up here. It has a quick turnaround and will come out underneath. And I'm thinking this is going to be labeled my Section 9 ramp, and on the bottom is going to be called the Tachikoma shot, because it kind of looks like a garage, and the Tachikomas were always in there, the little garage stall. So I thought that'd be a great place to either put art or a sticker here, and here'd be a good spot to, once I have a ramp made out of stainless thicker, it's going to act a little bit better. It would be a great spot for maybe a Tachikoma model that fit just standing on top of there. So I'll make sure when we make this for real out of stainless, we're going to put a tabs on the top to mount anything to. Down here I have 5 drop targets I took out of a Gottlieb torch, and since it's 5, it's going to be Ghost, G-H-O-S-T, and it's going to allow me to, I believe I'm going to use that to qualify for the modes, and the vertical kicker will, hopefully I'm going to be able to deliver the ball up into the upper playfield area. I have a spinner lane right now. If you watch the videos, it kind of is getting bounced around up here, and I do have 3 lanes to do multipliers, and those are going to be visible in some of the videos I made before I got here. I'm adjusting my shots here a little bit just to make it a little bit smoother transition. Same with the way around here. It's going to come all the way around and hopefully deliver cleanly to the flippers and not to the top. I'm probably going to put a pop bumper or 2 underneath here, but I need to get this ramp built first. And my upper playfield, this is just rough. It's eventually going to be probably a lot smaller with a no fear style upper flipper, so the mechanism can be all the way on the bottom, and just a custom made flipper bat and shaft, and bushing that's going to be metal to come all the way up here. Probably just like a flange on that, so I can put a single screw to keep this from bouncing. I think between that, 1 or 2 points here, and then 2 screws there, that's going to hold that up playfield. To remove it, it's going to be a plug that will probably go around the back somewhere, probably out the back. Have all of our switches on it, but maybe no heavy duty coils, and then 4 screws and a flipper, be able to pull that off. This ramp is going to come up, and the ball I'm hoping is going to be able to scoop around, and a diverter. It's either going to stop it, or if it's not ready, open it up, and it's just a scoop to drop the ball down into this lane. And this is my lock. So somewhere in here I'm going to have the flipper, and that's going to of course help decide the length of the upper playfield, and I'm going to have to be careful because I don't want it going straight down the middle. And here is my ball lock. This is just mocked up right now. It's going to be able to lock the ball here or over here. There's going to be up to 3 balls because I got a 4-ball trough I'm going to be putting in here. And it will be a little thinner so the ball will sit, be locked in there more. And this will allow me to have switches on the non-movable side so I can record that I hit it and then just keep track. And I'll have the 3. So at first lock you can hit either one. And then once those 2 are filled, you got the second lock, which you can move side to side. I'll have to see how that works in code. And to release, I don't need a solenoid. All I got to do is continue rotating this, and it will drop because there's a wedge on the back side. So depending on how fast I go, it depends on where it's going to drop out. So a little bit of a clean, a full revolution back should be good. As far as modes, I'm hoping to go with a modes for a storyline ladder and then some random modes that you can release. Also going to put some stand-ups here, 2501. Going to be kind of more of a hurry up puppeteer mode. It's mostly standalone complex, but I am reserving the right to grab some things from some of the other medias. So that, that's going to be a fun little, not a storyline, but the storyline mode, I'll have kind of a ladder that you work through to complete all the modes, get to the final goal. So kind of similar to some of the newer Sterns where you have to complete step 1 before you can do 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll probably have the status lights here. Those are going to be called complex modes, but then I'll have standalone modes, which once qualified, and I'm not sure how I'm going to qualify. I was thinking once we get into the ladder for the complex modes, you're going to be able to move up it until you fail, in which you either have to requalify for the complex mode, hit the scoop to start the mode, you'll be able to go into a standalone mode if you have it lit. Of course, the touch coma is going to require you hitting that RAM. We're going to have a loop ramp, and this is going to be our cyber hack. So every ball is going to represent a touch coma on the display. Back box is still relatively empty. I have the P3 rock mounted up there. Show you the bottom side of the playfield. Worked on cleaning up my wiring. A little bit better than my test rig I had before. I do have all the solenoids wired into my PD16. I have a little resistor board to run my optos. Not the cleanest in the world. I have some extra switches. Next thing I'm going to need to purchase is another switchboard because I'm going to quickly run out once I start putting the trough in, and some switches. So I do have a free resistor here, so I can throw another opto in if I need to. These are just future wires, so I can keep expanding without having to redo the plugs. A lot of the plugs and wiring are kind of things I had left over from other projects or ripped out of other copiers. There's my kind of power supply right now. I got my on-off switch I can reach from the inside. The EM transformer providing my solenoid voltage. It is not giving me the full 48, 50 volts that you want to shoot for. It's giving me 42, 40, 44 DC. PC power supply is going to be more than enough amperage for my 12 and 5 volts. Very easy to hardwire the green wire over to the ground internally, and it's more amperage than the $30 Meanwell ones, which are a great power supply, but if you want to start getting the mods or lighting, it doesn't hurt to have a little bit of extra amps. 12 volts, I got 14 amps. I have 5 volts, I have 22 amps. Plenty. My next project is to get that upper playfield cut down, ramps made. I need to make the ramps and test the shots, cut down to what I want, and build the flipper mechanism. That's going to be a little bit of work. After I got everything shooting right, I'm going to add my diverters, start adding more switches, getting ready for programming. I got to put the ball trough in. It just tries to get the ball over to here. I need to do an official ball trough, pick up an auto launcher so that I can program around it, but also so it has something for the ball to hit against. Right now this is hitting the side of the cabinet. I gotta move some holes around, and just a lot of tweaking here and there. Hopefully I get my shots right. Eventually start thinking about lights inserts, but that's a ways down the road. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next video. I hope to have the back mechanisms done. Maybe something with this vertical up kicker. It all depends on how easy it is with the wire forms I have laying around, or if I'm gonna have to make a custom one. Next, I'll show you the videos of the RAM, which is reversible both ways. I'll also show before I made the ramps, just kind of testing the orbit. You notice this post has been moving around a bit. It's just making the shoot a little bit better.
tricky.